Yes. So I should say thanks thanks for homeworks. You guys doing good? All right, so I will start with this one small question first. Yeah. All right. It was person table, TBL person. No, I didn't want to debug. I wanted to execute. Can you guys see my screen, guys? Can you see my screen really good, like results, or is it too small? Is this too small, guys? Do you want me to increase it, or is it good visible?
Could you increase it?
Yes, but I don't remember now, but I'll try to do that. Query results, SQL Server. Query results. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna open this in my different SQL Server. 1 second. That's good. Databases. This is not the one.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So I checked up internet. It says options, the one you opened it, and then environment and font colors.
Yeah, it was something, honestly, like I don't let me use this one. This is already set. That's perfectly fine for me. I can use this one. That's gonna be faster. So this is already set up because we have to check it, reset it. That's gonna be waste of time. EDL person. Okay, is this better? Can you guys see it? I think this is it. Okay, perfect. So today, I want to start with this simple question. I will give you guys 3 minutes for all of you to solve this Google question. This is a very easy level question, very easy. You have 3 minutes. You need to solve. You have to retrieve data. So we have 3 groups, right? We have a parent table. We have a child gender table. You have to write a SQL query to get a parent name which has both male and female. Did you get the question? So for example, D is the parent and his child is just one male. C is parent that has female and male, but B only has male childs. A has both male and female. So in your result, you should show parent which has both male and female. Doesn't matter if he has 5 male and 1 female, it doesn't matter. As long as he has both genders for his child, show me those. 3 minutes, very easy question. You should not, here's a trick. You shouldn't use CTE. You shouldn't use any joins, the subqueries, nothing. You should just use group by query.
Excuse me. Can you share this table, please, if it's possible? I don't know.
You don't see the table?
No, I didn't build the table. Like,
oh, okay. So the definition of the table, right?
I don't. If I press select start from TBL person, I cannot get parent.
I understand. Okay.
Adam, could you show the output also?
Like it's gonna be just one column with parent. You have to select the parent, which is gonna be probably like A and C or something like that. You know. Let me do this. I will do that. Okay. Okay. So select tables, and I want only which database did I choose? Person. Okay. So there we go. Don't post the answer to group chat yet. Just send it to me with like in a private chat if you have. This is the table creation and the answer. Let's go back here. Here is correct. Expected output should be so C and B. So it's gonna be something like this. It should be something like that. Expected output. Because you see, D doesn't have a child that's female. Okay, good. Someone already has sent the correct answer. I like it. That's good. Someone sent it in a, is it private? Okay, yeah, someone is privately. That's good. Privately from VH. Okay, that's good. I see from a couple people. That's good. All right, Muhammad Ali, you're using derived table. You should not use it. You should not use derived table or subquery. So, but I like your solution. Really good, Muhammad Ali. That's good. But try to use just this group by. Okay, let's see the answer now. We will start the class as well. Let's see. This is I've seen Millie. I like your answer very much. Same as Victoria sent. Victoria was the first one to send the answer, I believe. I think so. Maybe this is from Victoria. Let's see if it's correct. A and C, and that's correct. That's a correct answer, and that's what we're doing. Solution they expect you to know count star. So basically the question is trying to check your knowledge. Do you know the difference between let's say count column name versus count distinct column name? And that's what you need to know. You have to probably they're trying to check the existing of nulls in the column. When you do count with the null values in that column, how it's going to affect your query. That's what they're trying to see. This is very easy level question using group by. You can easily do that, but there are also many other ways to solve this question, right? You can, Muhammad Ali sent another way, which was subqueries. You can figure out different other ways. You can also use group by with, for example, string ag function. You can use like that. You can come up with different solutions, but this is so easy, so simple, and doesn't do a lot of extra steps. They like this type of solutions. So, okay, so today we will talk about SSIS packages where we have to do aggregations, which is aggregation means group by. And we also have to handle nulls. That's the goal of today's class. Also, we'll see some transformations too. Some transformations like, for example, aggregate transformation, which is group by transformation, complete conditional split, and sort, and multicast, and the rest. So let's see what we'll see today. So let's see some stuff in action. First, we need some data. Let's grab some data from already existing tables. So we'll create this table in our reporting DB. We have 504 rows, and our goal is to create is to do aggregations in our ETL package. That we will try to do our first package, and that we will call it group by package. If you are working with, let's say, your source, if your source is relational database, if you're getting data from databases, don't do group bys, aggregations, and in your ETL packages, because it's expensive operation. SSIS is very efficient to move data from different sources. They can be relational databases, flat files, Excel files. They can be cloud sources. They can be CRM, ERP, web sources, APIs, whatever. From different sources, getting data and huge amounts of data that it migrates, that inserts into final destination. It's really good. That's why it's designed for. But the SSIS is not designed for doing a lot of stuff that you would write queries. If you, let's say, group by is really good if you can do group bys and having clauses and some CTEs and do the filtering, some kind of logic. If your source is a relational database, write your SQL queries there. Do it in your source. In your ETL package, just bring it and load it, extract and load it at destination. But let's say your source is not relational database. Your source is maybe some flat files, Excel files, some kind of sources that you're getting that data and you have to aggregate it. You have no choice. In that case, what would you do? Let's get create our data flow task, and we will aggregate our data. First, let's get the data. Let's for this demonstration purposes, we're just using it from OLEDB source. But if you're getting from OLEDB source, write your SQL query and do the data aggregation at the source. But let's assume it's just some kind of source that you don't have a control, and you have to basically do aggregation at your ETL package. So it's something like this. We have 200. This is 200 rows. And we will be aggregating the data based on color column. Okay, that's our goal. Okay. And now we'll do this. And this is aggregate function, aggregate transformation. Aggregate transformation, basically, it's a group by statement. If you want to even to understand what it is, there's a description right here. Any transformation source you click in, it has a little explanation right here. It says aggregate data, group by data, and use some aggregate functions like average, sum, count, max, and mean, and that kind of stuff. So this is what it is. That's what we will use right for our demonstration purposes. So we use them. So here you have the list of the columns. Very simple, nothing much. Just you select the column that you want to aggregate with. You can aggregate with all columns if you want. Like you will call them, all of them, group by, group by, group by, and here also group by. So what is equivalent of this? What does it mean? So what you're saying is color, safety stock, reorder point, standard cost. Okay, so let's write exactly the equivalent of that query. Select from products, group by, color, safety stock level. What else was it there? Reorder point. And standard cost. And here in your select list, we didn't write anything yet. We didn't do anything yet. So here, come here. So this is only group by clause, right? In your group by clause, you selected that, but you didn't do anything else. So let's see what will be the output. Or to see the output, I can write this data, whatever it does, I can write it a destination, some kind of flat file, Excel file, or some database. But for now, because we will be checking a lot, I don't want to write this every time. I don't want to waste time for it. I want to basically see what's happening. For that purpose, you can actually skip, like if you run like this, it's not going to allow you. You're not going to see what's happening, right? It's bringing data here, stopping, but you don't see what's happening here after this, right? So it's not going to allow you to see your output. So you have to put some more step here after this, right? For that, you can use multicast. What does multicast? Don't worry about right now. I will show you what it does, but basically multicast is one of those transformations that are available that you don't have to configure it. You don't have to change anything in it. Just use it as a next step. It's some work that's next step. And you bring it and you touch it here. Right here now, you can enable data viewer. Data viewer, edit it. Let's make sure that we chose all the columns. You see now you have only four columns available, and I want to see what's happening. So here's what's happening. Basically, what it did is it did this. You group by these columns, and oh, sorry, right place, right here. This is your select list, and this is your group by. This is what it's doing right now. Whatever you group by, it's showing that in your list. But you have more options than that. We don't want that. Actually, we want to do some kind of aggregations, right? Let's say I don't want that. Let's actually not let's not use them. I want only color. I want to group only color by color, and there's a product ID. I want to count the group by product ID. And let's say there's weight is really good example as well. Weight, I can sum by weight. And this one I want to call total weight. This one total number total of total number of products, and this one is total weight. Something like that. And here, so what is happening now? So it's grouped by, but it's not showing those two columns. Why it's not showing those two columns? Because the data viewer does not include those ones. We have to refresh the data viewer. See this two as so I want to bring everything, those two columns as well. Let's see it. There we go. Total number of products, total weight. So what it's doing is it's writing this query. First, we need to do the product ID. And sum of I believe there should be that column. It's just grouping by this column, and it's using aggregate function for this two separate columns. So it's something like this. It has 10 rows. For now, it has 248 rows, and this is the total weight for it. And let's see if it's correct. For now, 248. So that's what it's achieving. Aggregate function. Syntax is kind of visual and it's kind of hard, confusing, but it's very simple process. Count, sum for this columns, group by for this column. This is what it is. But I see a problem here. I see a problem that you need to fix in your ETL package. So there's a null value, null color, and you want to handle that null. Instead of that null color, you want to say null color, unknown color, or something like that. So that's the next goal now. And for that, before data comes to here, before the data is coming here is a null and the other colors. So what is happening here is Aggregate function is considering null as another color and it's using. So we have to clean that data before it comes to aggregation. And what transformation can help us? What do you guys think? What do you suggest? What I want to do, I want to write an expression where I want to say if the color is null, then say no color. Otherwise, just put it. So basically, when you write a T-SQL, what would you do for that scenario? Guys, what kind of, if there's a, if you want to replace this now with some value, how would you do that? Don't answer, please. I'm going to ask for from someone from the audience. Let's say, okay, Kate, what would you do here to replace now with what kind of value? What? Give me something. One example.
I would use probably case.
That's good answer. Just one answer, right? It's just one approach. Davron, please tell me, what would your approach? What is the other way of? There are a million ways of doing it. Very simple scenario. So you have to replace now with something else in this case. Yes, perfect. Davron said is now is another option. Perfect, and that's good answer. That's what we need to use in our transformation as well. Is now function. Is now is you're gonna use is now here in your group by. You will say if it's null, say it's something else. Otherwise, let's actually see that in action. Is null, and if it's null, say no color. When it's no color, it's this, and it's printing no color. So that's what we need to achieve. Or we can do the same thing. We can write case statement here. We can write if statement here. We can use also, so the options is to handle nulls in T-SQL. We can do case statement is null. We can do coalesce. We can do if function, right? There are some options like this. Maybe there's something else to figure out, but this is more than enough. You don't have to tell them. The same thing we will do here and here. So for that, what transformation do you think is a good suggestion? We already seen that transformation. Basically, you have to write expression. What transformation did you see that you can write transformation so far? Derived column transformation. That's very good suggestion, and that's what we'll use right now for our scenario. Let's see. All right, perfect. So right here, derived column. That's what's missing. So derived column should do this job. Before it reaches group by, it should write this, and then group by should use this. So that's what's happening. This is group by statement. Before group by, we have to use derived column. So you have to a little bit when you write SSIS packages, you have to write assume a little its syntax a little bit different. There we go. And this derived transformation, and there is different ways of achieving the same thing, and we will see some examples for it. First, I want to use the old way. There's operators, different operators you can use. You can to add, you can use plus. You concatenate, you use plus. You can do bigger and greater or equal operations. If you want to say and, you can do this. But I want to use this conditional statement, which is a case statement, that Kate has suggested. Let's use the case statement as a first solution in our case in this scenario. So what you need to do is, if you hover over performance, logical, or operation, it's a little bit different case statement. The syntax is a little bit different, but don't worry about it. We'll see. You will see it's very easy. So basically, color, that column you have to use as part of, first you need to have a function for it. There's a null function, which is null function. Null function is a little bit different. It's not like T-SQL. It takes only one input parameter, and it will basically, if it's null, it will return true or false. If it's null, it returns true. Otherwise, it will be false. It will basically say whether the stuff that you are putting in, is it null or not. That's what it will return. So here we have to put the color right here. Yes. So what you're saying is, if this, and this is the question mark, there's a logical operator. You put the question mark. If that's correct, you put the correct part before this column. After column, you put the wrong one, like not correct. When it's true, false. So when it's null, when it's true, you have to say something. You have to say no color in this case, or something else. Empty string or unknown, any word. And now you have to give, in your conditional statement, you have to give the second one, which is when it's false. So not this one, but the column. Here we have to, if it's not null, we want to return color. That's it. And column name, we will call it DT, derived transformation, and color. That's how we will call it. Here you go. We want to see what is happening here as well, what we have created. And in the group by now, instead of using color column, I will use this column. I'm not gonna, I will use this, but I'm not gonna use this one. Product ID is gonna be, the DT color is gonna be group by column. Product ID, it's gonna be count. Product ID, total products. Okay. And let's see what will. So we are here, and we are getting one extra column, which is this one, which is derived color will replace when it's no color. When it's null, it will basically put the you are creating new column, derived column. Think of it as a computed column. So you're creating another column. That's what it is. You can actually do in the derived column, there's an option to replace. You can do the same thing, but okay. So after aggregation now, we are aggregating, but unfortunately our data viewer has again lost some columns in this case. Everything. So I don't want to see this part again. I understand now. I want to see. So that's what happened. Basically, you said no color. You put no color instead of null. So, and you have done it by using derived column transformation. You create another column and you wrote an expression there. And in the expression, you used very old way of doing things with writing a case statement. So when you write a case statement, what would you write? You would write something like this. If you did a statement instead here, you would say case when color is null, then no color else color. And this one, like this. Is it color? So this case statement, you have expression, right? Right here is your expression. There's your true. That's your false. Case statement. That's exactly what you did in this expression. That's your expression. Question mark means basically in your T-SQL, it's case when is replaced with question mark. And then else part is replaced with this column. That's what it is. You're just basically writing if statement as well. You can say as a statement. So very simple scenario. This is one way. This is kind of old way. You can actually do a lot of stuff with it. You can do nested things and this and that. Also, you can do like, for example, if you see that what is happening here is the data is being returned as a Unicode. It's WSTR. So what if you want to convert the data to non-Unicode, right? For that, we already seen the typecast, and in the typecast, we should have this function. For that, in order to use that function, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this into one brackets, and I'm going to use this one. So let's say this is length 15. Let's say I want to change the length and make it whatever, the 50, for example. Here, I want to do the 1252. And okay, and as you see, there is now it's becoming a string str. It's not a non-Unicode data. So you can write a lot of expressions here, and this is just one way of it. There you go. You have to refresh it, remap things. This is good. Okay, and it's gone. But this is one of the ways. What if you want? I want to do differently as well. There's another way. I'm gonna write the color 2. I'm gonna create another column like we did here. We check this way. Now I'm gonna check this way. You can actually there is a is now function. This is now not equivalent of this is now. This is not. They are called is now, but this is now is basically returns true or false, and it does not give you opportunity to replace. When it's now, you want to replace it with something. And starting with 2012, there's this function, replace now. Replace now is now function in T-SQL. That's what I want to use in this case. Again, it's going to be added as a new column. I'm not going to replace it with any column. I'm going to add it as a new column. So I'm going to drag it this function. And for the expression first part, like in this case, in your is now, what you do is you will use the name of the column, right? You do the same thing here. Where is my color? And your those spaces. And here you have to in your T-SQL, here you're putting that this value, which is gonna be your replacement value, right? You want to say no color. But here you should not use a single quotes as you see above. We are using double quotes here. So no. And here you go. That works really good as well. And there is a so what now I want to show you those ways. This aggregate function is using our old DT color one, but I want to show another one. So for that, I want to bring the aggregate function again. One. And what I want to do is, you see, I want to bring one more the data path. This one. So data flow path. So every transformation has only one data flow path. But I want to use, it has the different one as well, but this is error. I don't want to get the error one because it doesn't have the error in the error. It does not have any error values right now. I want to get those columns that it's coming from. I want to get these two columns. So how do I get it? I need this multicast. Multicast is created for that purpose. What it says is it distributes every input row to every so this row, this data flow path, it will basically create, if you want as many as you want, you can create that. Let's actually see another example before using it. Let's say this scenario. So let's say you have OLEDB source and some kind of OLEDB source, and you want to write it to OLEDB destinations, for example, and also you want to, let's say you want to write to flat file destination, same data. You want to write it to different destinations, but you have only one path. Now what you need to do? Well, I'm gonna create another source. Same source. You're getting, let's say you're getting from the same table, products table, but you have to put it to different places. Are you gonna write this package? No, this is very bad package. It's very bad. It will give you bad performance. Why? Because you are doing the same job 4 times. You're reading it 4 times. You're bringing data 4 different times. So it was 4 approaches. So you are actually spending 4 resources 4 more times. Instead of doing that, what you can do is you can use multicast. Bring the data to different places from multicast. It will allow you to give the same input to different outputs, as many as you want. This is the purpose of multicast. It does not do anything. If you click on it, that's it. It gives you different information about the source that it's coming. It's not really a transformation, other than it's just allowing you to use the same source as many times as you want. This is the purpose of it's good for your it gives you a benefit of good performance when you want to use the same source, right? I'm not going to save it. It was just an explanation. So I want to use the same source, but I cannot do it. For that purpose, I have to use another multicast here. Put it here. From this multicast, I'm going to here. Now let's see everything. Good. Here, This is my second aggregate function. Now, in this case, I'm not going to use this color, but this column, another column, which I used replace null function. And also, I want to do the same thing I was doing, which is this column and weight column. Another one. Okay, so for the weight, I was doing sum for the product and then do count. Okay. And I want to see what is this aggregate function is returning. So that's why I put some kind of destination. Why am I using the multi-case here? If I, let's say, use anything else, let's say I want to use union all here. And if I run it, okay, union all was not really good example out of many examples. Union all also works perfectly fine. Let's say merge join. You see, you have to configure it. You have to do the configuration. You have to choose which output you want, and then you have to put another output and do this. And still, it's like asking you to configure a lot of stuff. So it's gonna give you a headache. There are some ones like multi-case, union all. You can do the same thing with conditional split. There are some transformations you don't have to configure them. You don't have to worry them. Just put something that comes after this, and don't worry about it. And it's not writing into final destination. It's still the data is inside your SSIS package, and you just at this point you're debugging. You are just you are seeing what is happening. So there's one of the outputs. There's another output. There you go. So one output is giving us silver, red, and no color is coming here, and this one is coming. It's kind of not understand, like we cannot understand what's going on, right? So let's actually sort this data. Or let's write in if we talk about in a SQL language, if we do, for example, execute this again. So we want to sort this by this column, by this sum. We have to do the same order by syntax in SSIS. When I order it, so now I will see 3 nulls on top, and then gray, multi-gray, no color should come here. Both of them, I want to achieve the same thing. So right here, I have to bring another transformation. So what do you guys think? What should I use here? Very easy, right? For transformation. For transformation is also simple. It doesn't do a lot. It does not do a whole lot of transformations. I have to configure it. That's why it's showing red color. Basically, I have to tell which column I want to use to sort. So if I choose with everything, then I have to give the sort order, right? In the group by, when you put the first in the order by, you have to say which one is the first order by column. But I don't want to do that. I just want to use only total weight. And I can do ascending or descending. That's it. It's very simple. There's another option, which is this one, remove duplicate rows. That we will talk soon. But basically, sort transformation is very simple. Just used to sort. It's equivalent in T-SQL. It's order by. This is what. Basically, this is doing order by ET dollar. R2. Formatted, auto layout, diagram. Okay. And I want to see data only at this point. There we go. Absolutely same results. The data viewer is basically it's basically using columns in different order. We can change that as well, but basically gray, white, and numbers all aligned. It's basically same. Okay. So this is just one package. We did in this package. What we did is we did group by, we did order by, we did multicast, and we wrote some when you do null handling interview question. If they say if you have a nulls that you want to replace, how would you do that? You say I will use direct column transformation. I'll write an expression. Then for expression, I can use a replace null function. Or I can use just a conditional expression, which is going to be is noun color. So I will just say conditional expression, like if a case statement equivalent. That's going to be enough answer. So this is. I'm going to save this as one package. So if you want to group by, you have to use aggregate function, aggregate transformation. If you need to handle nulls, you have to use derived column transformation and use expressions there using replace null function or the expression. That's what we saw. Also, if the data is coming from different sources, let's see. Okay, so let's yeah, I'm gonna create a packet like a flat file. Flat file is a little bit different. Flat file can also handle nulls. You don't have to write when you have flat file. You don't have to use derived column transformation. You don't have to write expression there because flat file can handle it. So I'm gonna say flat file source FFS flat file source, and I'm gonna create a dummy data here file that has null values, right? So let's say I have three columns: ID and name and salary. So let's say 1, 2, and nothing here for salary. In this column, nothing. It's gonna be comma separated. Here, let's say nothing, but salary, we have something. Salary. This is good enough. Yes, save it. I'm gonna try to bring this data, and let's create another package for it. Let's call it flat file source null. That's a good name. I'll create data flow task again. Data flow task is an ETL task. extract, transfer, long task. Let's for extracting data from flat file source, I have to use flat file source. Okay, flat file source. And flat file source, I'm gonna get the data from our source, downloads, ETL, flat file source. Open it and review the data. So it's coming in correctly. As you see, those some rows does not have any data here. So these are the columns. This is advanced. In the advanced, I want to do some kind of data cleaning here, data transformation here, data conversion. So I know ID is not a string. It is a 4-byte integer. And name is, let's leave it as a string. 50 length is fine. Salary. Salary, I want to choose as a currency. Currency is this. Is good. That's good. Okay. Columns. All looks good. And multicast here as well. So here what's happening, and that's here what the problem is flat file sources. So ID, our flat file, if you look at the flat file, ID is not now. Salary for this person is not now. Like this is it's wrong data. ID now, it's basically saying this person and this person is same. They now, you may see them as one person eventually, right? And also salary for this person and for this person equal, but that's not true. This is basically what it's saying is it's telling us that the salary, we know the salary, and we know this people, there's two people have like same ID, and this is basically not a true representation of a data, and we have to configure this data, right? So let's keep this, and then we want to compare it with different flat file with the. We have to basically configure this package. We have to handle nulls at the source of flat file source correctly, and how we would want to do that. So here, what we're gonna do is when you, let's say I want to create another one, I want to keep this one as well as a wrong one. I want to create another flat file source so that we can see the difference. Just for that purpose, I want to create another connection and get the data from the same place. Okay. He was integer. Name is good. Data conversion is correctly happening, but salary is wrong. If I type in C, it will give me a currency. And say, okay, right here, that's the whole purpose of this package for me to show you. This is retain null values from the source as null values in the data flow. So what it's saying is, at the source, if you see nothing here, like nothing means unknown data, make it as a null value. That's what it's saying. I'm going to check it, and I did check it, and open it, you will see it's checked. In this case, it's not checked. multicast, another one. Instead of actually multicast, you can do the conditional split. It's also another option, right? There are many other options that you can do. You don't have to configure the next step in this case. So here, I'm going to implement viewer, and let's compare those two different source and transformations. Let's see what we are receiving. So this is our first, this source. This is our second, this source. As you see, now this is correct data. Now this is correct, because what is happening in this case is we don't know their ID here. Nothing. We don't know this data. We don't know this data, and we don't know the seller. Now is correct, then saying it's equal to 0. Now means unknown. It could be $500, $1,000. It could be now. It could be 0, but we don't know. Saying it as 0, it's wrong interpretation. Null is not 0, and ID, giving it ID 0 is making it like two rows belong. This two row belong to one person. So that's also not. We have to handle nulls correctly in flat file sources, and if it comes as it is, you have to basically, the point of this, what I'm trying to show is you have to use this. We have to select this one. Okay, so now we have some data here coming as a null. Now we have to handle that null. For handling that null value, I want to use conditional split transformation. Conditional split is absolutely different from derived column. They are not same. Conditional split, I would say it's more like if derived column, if it's like a computed column, this is more like a where clause in your select query. Basically divides the values into different groups, different splits the it takes the raw data in the row, in the column, and it splits into different directions. And let's see what I mean by this. We know that, let's run this package before, and I want to disable this one. I don't want to look at this right now. All I want to see this one, and I want to show you guys what I'm trying to achieve. So I have this this column. So this column is absolutely useless. I have to, I don't need to take this. I don't want to put it into my destination. I want to filter it out. I don't want to use it. This one, also, I want to filter it out, but I want to do something else with it. Probably I will put it into different table, which is going to be bad data table. I can put the data there, and later on, after 1 year, I will keep those bad data, and then I can do some more analysis and clean that data in that table, and then maybe derive some knowledge from the table, right? I may use this one, but this one has absolutely nothing, empty row. I don't want to use, so I want to handle it differently. So when all columns are null, I want to push it to different branch. When two ID and name is null, I want to push it to different branch. The rest of the data is a good data. I want to push them into different branch. So basically, I want to create different branches and put split those values in this column. 4 rows, 2 of them should go here, 1 of them should go here, 1 of them should go here. Conditional split will do exactly that, and that's what we need to do. Now we have to write a expression for that. Conditional split, it's basically, it's like also very similar to writing a case statement. So that's going to be have one case, 2 different cases. So right here is going to be our condition number 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write is null function. If ID is null, if ID is null, null row. Null rows. The row that has only nulls, right? For that, it has to be and this null, and this null, and this null. That's what I have to say. So I have to use AND operator. AND operator is written like this. And two ends. I'm gonna put and, and I'm gonna say is null, and I'm gonna say ID. And you have to be careful because you cannot type in as ID in both capital letters because it's gonna say it's wrong. Why? Because SSIS is case sensitive. It's not like T-SQL. So you have to say ID like this, right? You have to be careful with cases. So right here, actually, I have to say name. Same thing, I have to say and. For saying and, you have to use it twice again. Now, what I'm saying is ID is null, name is null, salary is null, and. This is my condition for writing this. Okay, so what is wrong? What is wrong here? Is null. Sometimes it can be ruled like this, and that's totally fine. You can actually do this.
Maybe column names should be in brackets.
Yes, let's do that. Did I not do that? That's absolutely correct statement. Because dragging and dropping is better than sometimes printing because you can actually make some do drag and drops. Now ID is now name is now there we go. So nothing much changed. Maybe it's spaces. So what is happening is behind the scene, this is translating everything to C#. So somewhere syntaxes, some spaces in C#, it's gonna everything is matters, you know, upper, some spaces, some this and that. So that could be an issue. So it's sometimes to fix it, just delete it, then rewrite it, or drag and drop. It will make your life easier. So anything that satisfies this row will be in this branch. When anything else will go to different branch. So that's going to be a good data. But also we have another scenario, which is the first two columns. We have to write that as well. This one actually will call all nulls. This one will say some nulls. Again, to not to struggle with its syntax, I'm gonna just copy this. There we go. That's it. And here we go. So a conditional split will apply that logic, the case statement that we wrote. It's kind of case statement, right? So in this, it's not even like case statement. It's basically saying if, where this is equal. This is one branch. Where this is this expression, this is another branch. Everything else is another branch. It's like more like a where clause, I would say that. So now I'm gonna create a multicasts because I don't want to write whatever it brings out. I don't want to write it to table, to destination. I just want to put something after this, some kind of operation, but all I'm interested is I want to implement data viewer. So I have to assign which branch I want to use for it. I have three branches, right? All nulls, good data, some nulls. All nulls, let's see that. Now let's first see the good data. And I want to see the second good data, like a partially good data, which is some nulls, because there are some good data as well. And the last one, I'm not interested. The one I'm not interested is the last one, and it's actually putting it for me itself. So I don't want to see the data here anymore. I want to see the data in this case. So let's run it. This is bad data. This is actually some nulls. This is all nulls. This is good data. So you are splitting dataset into three windows. Can you do this with anything else? Any transformation? Can you achieve the same thing with anything else? Like derived column transformation? No. Because a lot of people, for some reason, they confuse derived column. They struggle a lot to know the difference when they're first starting. Of course, it takes a couple practice, and you get to know. Look at this. This is very similar to derived column transformation, right? It's very confusing. Which one should I use? When should I use? What is the main difference? Derived table transformation, it will create another column, and its output will be just one output, which we have used in the group by, for example. Derived column, it's also very similar, the same thing. The same stuff is going on, but after this, we only see one data pass, and it will always give you everything in that one column. Everything, like it does not split data into different groups and give you in different numbers. It will give everything in one group, in one column. But conditional split, it kind of splits your data into different branches, and basically implements I would say it's like something like where clause. Where clause, usually in T-SQL, you will write your where clause and you will see the column that you are looking for. When you write this, for example, when you write this condition, you will see in your result only this condition. But here, condition split will get a lot of where clause logic, and for all of them, it will create one different branch, and it will put those rows separately on those branches. Okay. This is another example. So far we saw multicast, conditional split, aggregate transformation, sort transformation, and different ways of handling nulls. How do you need to handle nulls? When you when you're working with flat file source, if there's some kind of value that's missing, you have to select this, and it will put nulls. And then how do you handle nulls? You use derived column transformation to mask null. To mask, meaning you mask it as a no color, and you use conditional split transformation after that. For example, put that null data into different destinations. If it's all null, that's garbage, trash. You don't want to use this. If there's some nulls, you might still want to keep that columns and put it into different table, like a bad data table, and then you keep collecting that table data, because you can later on you can do some data analysis and then still derive some knowledge from there. If it's good data, you will put it there. So you just, if you want to split data like that, you have to use conditional split transformation. So this is another example, another package. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save this, and I will come back here. I'll ask you guys another question. Today I'm asking you very simple questions, and I will continue asking those simple questions, because those simple questions in real life really difficult to understand, difficult to debug. Like some ETL packages are failing and people don't understand what's going on. Usually it's very simple scenarios. Data cannot be converted, or data is being converted incorrectly. The destination is expecting some different data type, but source is different. Last class we saw it, how to fix those things. And sometimes data is coming as a null, you have to handle it. And null is a problem. And this is an example for that. Let's see an example. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When I say, so when I execute this part, when I execute this part, I will get, so total rows. How many rows I have right now, guys? 504, right? Everything in this table, when I execute like this, everything in this table is 504, right? When I say this, give me black colors, it's giving me 93 rows. So black colors, 93 rows. So now question. So when I do this, 504 minus 93, execute 401. So it's, if I do subtract 93 from 504, I'll get 411 rows. 411 rows. So it's something like this. This is something like this. When I say give me the black colors equal to this, it's giving me 93 rows. When I say this, what will happen, guys? How many rows will I get?
163.
How much? And you said
163.
Thank you very much. That's a really good answer. But I want explanation. Why non-blacks are 163? I have 504 rows. Out of them, 93 are black. But anything that's not black, that's what you're saying. The color, give me the color that's not black. Why are you getting 163?
Because of nulls.
That's very correct. People don't know that. In real life, people don't know this simple stuff. A lot of ETL packages fail because of it. Now black. No. So who doesn't understand this? Do I need to explain this? Right? Everyone understands it. But you have to always, when you write queries, when something is equal to this, when something is not equal to this, you always have to be careful, because when you say something is equal to this, you have to be careful if that column has null values. People make a lot of mistakes in real production applications. For example, people that when they write applications, junior developers or sometimes mid to senior developers, they make so many stupid mistakes like this. And their result, for example, let's look at this table. And here, for example, size, right? Size column should not have null. It should have some kind of zero, but it should not. This null will have a problem. Will cause a lot of problem in production if you don't code correctly. Because when you say, for example, select start from products where size is bigger than 52, 40, 52, let's say. 48. To the type integer to marker value and size, not the size. Okay, so you see there is some other values. Like all the. How about weight? Weight is a good example too. Size column had some non-numeric value as well, so that's why it's not a good example. But you see, I want to see everything that is smaller than, let's say, smaller than 435. And weight column does not include any value that's not null, and that's problem. Maybe you want to say not equal. And same thing, it will not include not null values. So that's problem, and that also be a problem in your ETL package as well. And that's what I want to see with you guys today. All right. So, package. Again, data flow task, DFT, which is ETL. We are doing ETL. We will do only DB source because the source products table is in our data reporting data warehouse, and this is going to be products table. And from products table, I want to do conditional split. And in the conditional split logic, I want to get black colors on one branch. Anything that's not black, non-black, I want to get into another branch. That's what I need to do. Right? And color, I have to say equal to black. But here's the problem. This is not using SQL, so it's case sensitive expression. So that's why you have to be always careful. You have to say upper. You have to use this function, upper function. We have already seen upper function in the T-SQL. It's the same thing here. So it will convert every value in that column as a upper uppercase, and here we'll say upper black. So here, when it's equal to black color, I'm gonna say this is black. Anything else, I'm gonna say non-black. Okay. 2 branches now. See what's going on. What are my options? So I want to get the black branch. Anything that's not black, I want to put it here. And I'll try to run this package. Again, this is our progress. I can put the output file. Output right now it's empty because I didn't put it on this site. And close it and run it again. Output here, it's saying a warning, and there's some errors, data flow pipeline, error, upper, here we go, conditional split, error, the first error is starting on this row with your expression, conditional split, evaluated null, but conditional split requires Boolean results, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's complaining about null value. You can actually read whole package and you can, it describes all the problems, but we already know what's going on. This is very unknown issue. So we have to handle this package for null. So right here, we have to write this null function, which is a replace null function. What I'm going to say is, hopefully I don't have to replace null. That when null value comes, I'm going to say no color. And that should evaluate to this if it's correct. So might be some space issues again. But this.
No, at the beginning of the upper.
Upper is there?
Yep, right there.
Missing
And
quote.
also at the end of no color.
It's a quote.
Could be many other reasons, but we will leave time to figure out what it is. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to build this by bringing the expressions. Control Z. Here, I'm going to bring upper function. Upper function, string function should be somewhere here. And here, I will bring color. And here, I'm going to write my expression, the replacement value. Now color, no color. Okay. Here, is it equal? Equal sign, everything you have to use twice in here because it's using C# language. That's how it's used. So here, I'm going to say black. Hopefully this is good. Okay, good. Like I said, this is not, SSIS expressions are not perfect. But an easy expression, you should be able to write anything you want. It should be able to translate that, but that's fine. This is how it works. Best way is just drag and drop. This tool is designed for that, not to write expressions. So let's accept that. So it's basically now, it's handling now in this package, This should run perfectly fine. But did I put, okay. So 93 rows coming here, 411 rows coming here. No need to actually see them. It's gonna be a lot of rows. This is one way of handling it. There's another way. Some people do this. I've seen a lot of packages like this these days, which is not correct, which is very bad. That's practice, but that actually works in real life because they know the data, they know all the possible ways, and they don't handle for now. They use something like this, but what they do is they go to configure error. If null value comes, they say ignore the value, like error, because when null comes, ignore it. That's what you can do. Not the best way to do it, but also can work. 93, 411 coming here, 93 coming here, same thing. So because basically in the color column, there's two values possible. Sometimes it's bright color, sometimes it's not like a null value, sometimes it's other color. So you know your scenarios, but it's possible that something else may come. Data time, like a date time column may come. And it's like there are some other scenarios that you may not know. In this case, you are taking a big risk when you do that. Don't do that. Instead, write really good expression here. And then handle your package correctly. We have 1.5 hours. I wanted to show you something else, but I think what we saw today good enough. So this is gonna be another package. Let's rename this package as null.
Excuse me.
Yes.
What did you say regarding ignore null feature? When does it fail usually?
So what happened is here, because you see, if you don't do this, it's failed by default, and you are not handling null value for the color. When null value comes, now it cannot be equal to black. Now, like this is just a general rule, right? Now you cannot say null equal to something. What you have to write, you have to in T-SQL, you have to say where you have to say where color is null, right? You have to say something like this. You cannot say this. Can you say that?
No.
This will not give you any value because nothing is equal to null, nothing is not equal. This is also will give you that.
I mean, what I'm saying is for the purpose that you have accomplished right now, it was working.
It's working because what happens is
it's not black. Null is not black.
So what is happening is when instead of in this color column, value is flowing, right? So it's coming as white, black, yellow. Yellow is equal to black. Yellow is not equal to black. This expression is working perfectly fine. But it will stop working when color will become null. When that row will come and it will get the value as a null and it will try to equal null to equal to black. That is not correct. So that's why what happens is this error will happen. The conversion error. Null cannot be converted to any data type, it cannot be, so this will fail. So when you say ignore that type of errors, any type of error that happens in this expression, you're saying it, ignore it. Any type of error happens, that null equal to black is error by definition. So you're saying ignore that error, keep continue. So what happens is, if it's black, it will put in this row. If it's not black, anything else other than black color. It can be error rows, it can be different colors, all of them, it will put into default branch.
So
Even
this,
the error row.
so this 493 rows includes error rows as well, right?
411 rows, yes.
Yes, 411 rows.
93 rows,
And everything.
so it's 93 rows will have only
Yeah,
red
yeah.
colors.
Yes.
Here, it will be anything that's other than black. And plus error rows as well. You get what I'm saying? So that's not correct way anyways. You should not work that way. You should always fail it or redirect it. No, you don't know. You don't want to. Truncation you may ignore. That's fine. But errors don't do that. Do this and better write expression. So 3 packages we have to do for homework. We have to file source null, how to handle it. Handling nulls and conditional split. When you do some kind of a equal this, equal that, we have to handle your expression. And the first one is the group by. When you create group by statement, there are different expressions that you can write. Practice that as well. Homework is exactly what we did step by step. Repeat this by watching videos. At the end, you will have 3 packages. Just send it to me. I want to see that you have done it, because just watching, you're not going to practice really good. If you stop recording.